4 weeks into the season, baby, it is now time to look towards the Atlanta Falcons game. Not much to report because we don't even know who's taking the field for the Washington Commanders because the injury bugs have been spanking us through 3 weeks of the season. Another one of our rookies is up for Rookie of the Week, so you already know what to do. Let's open up week 4 of the NFL season, baby. Let's get at it. What it do? What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It is your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel where we ramble about our Washington Commanders. It is Wednesday. We're going to get an update from practice. It's Wednesday, September 24th, and we're going to get some updates because everybody on the damn roster is injured right now. We need to be looking out for Lake and the media out there at BigBear.ai Performance Center too, because the injury bug is touching every single person that has something to do with Washington right now. I'm glad I left Northwest Stadium without injury this Sunday afternoon. But as we currently sit here on Wednesday, 4 days away from Washington's 4th game of the season, the quarterback, we still don't know. And apparently he had the stone cold knee brace on at practice last week. Seems pretty normal after you sprain your knee. Terry McLaurin has a quad injury. That is where we're going to start today. But you know Noah Brown always got some type of injury. That's nothing to see here. You already know what's good with him. John Bates, Percy Butler, Trey Amos with a calf. The IR is full of Commanders with Will Harris missing most of the season now. Dietrich Wise and Eckler gone for the year. Jonathan Jones has a hamstring issues on the IR, and we still haven't seen our superstar guard, Sam Cosmi, yet in the 2025 season. So right now, we need to breathe, we need to exhale, and we need to figure out the severity of Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin's injury. But let's start with Terry because Jaden did actually practice on Friday. He was limited, but he did practice. Let's start with Terry. Per Rap Sheet, Ian Rappaport on X about an hour or so ago, Terry McLaurin will receive another opinion on his quad today. And he's received several. That concerns me. Those 4 words right there or would give me pause, would give me hesitation, and would terrify me. Very terrifying for Scary Terry. He's received several opinions on his quad so far, and he's seeking another one. That is the type of language that spells multiple missed weeks. But go ahead and continue on, including from Dr. Williams Myers, the nation's expert in core muscle injury. As of now, they believe it's a quad injury, but more tests are coming as his status is in doubt for Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and keep it a whole 100,000 with you. Terry's not playing on Sunday. If you think Terry's playing on Sunday, I think not. He's gone. He's not playing this week. I have no expertise in soft tissue, core injuries, or any of the above credentials or criteria that is on this tweet in front of me. Terry not playing this week. Terry's not playing this week. See, I was at the game. I didn't watch it from the TV copy until I got home. I thought Terry got his shit. I thought he got pulled because we pulled starters at the end of the game. It was news to me when I got back about an hour and a half after the game finished that Trey Amos and Terry were like legit on the injury list. Like, legit listed injury. I knew about Marshawn. I seen Marshawn leave the game, walk it off to the locker room and all that. But the Terry thing, had no idea. So I kind of poo-pooed it, threw it away. Oh, he's fine. They were just keeping him out. And yes, I know everybody's going to say, but we all saw Terry jog to go get the game ball for Luke McCaffrey after he scored his first ever NFL career touchdown. That does not mean anything. I've saw Bama's tear their ACL, tear their Achilles, and walk off on their own. Like, that does not adrenaline and testosterone in combination can do a lot of things. The human body is incredible. The things that our body could do if we just push it to do so. That does not mean he's okay. But This injury took place on the play that should have been a touchdown, ended up not being a touchdown, where Terry's diving into the end zone. He has a quad injury. And I know exactly where everyone is going with this injury. This is because it took us all summer to get Terry on the field, yada, yada, yada. He missed most of the summer. That is a springboard and a rollout for soft tissue injuries. I get it. I get where everybody else is going. But our body catch bandit diving for the end zone, his quad could have got banged up regardless of if he was in camp or not in camp. So I'm not blaming that. Is it a factor? It probably is. It definitely probably factors, you know. His quad's probably not quadding like they would if he had a full training camp. But when you do things like you're trying to stretch out from the 4-yard line to the end zone, it happens sometimes. It happens. But this is what my unexpert, nobody fan opinion believes based on what I'm seeing and what I'm reading. It makes me believe he may be getting that CeeDee Lamb 4 to 6 week treatment. That sounds like look at the bottom tweet. Mike Evans is about to miss several weeks with a hamstring, and obviously a hamstring and a quad are two different things, opposite side of the leg. But the seeking another opinion when you've already received several, that sounds to me like a minimum 4 to 6 week hiatus type thing. And then there's the other thing fans are going to do. They're going to shame him. They're going to shame him for his big age. They're going to shame him for this boy has played in 72. He played in like 72 consecutive, something crazy. Like per Nicky, Terry has started the last 72 games for Washington, 76, including the playoff. And it will be the first game he's missed since week 16 of the COVID season. That boy does nothing but play football. So I know there's going to be a faction of people saying, now you get paid. You hit 30 years old last week. All of a sudden, you getting injured for the first time in years. Y'all, it is football. This is the most brutal and barbaric sport. And most of these injuries happen in a non-contact sense. So you can get injured doing about anything on a football field. You can get injured on the sideline. Ask Dan Quinn. He had his shit leaking like Terrence Crawford was dotting up Canelo Alvarez a couple weeks ago. Shit happens on a football field. Shit happens off the football field. We don't got to point fingers. We just got to hope for a speedy recovery, and we hope that this is a big nothing burger. But I'm going to read this sentence again, because this sentence does not sound like a nothing burger. I'm not trying to get y'all to pull up the alarm bells, but Terry McLaurin will receive another opinion on his quad today, and he's received several. That sentence, and they believe it's a quad injury, that sounds like a lot of uncertainty, and that sounds like a recipe for 4 to 6 weeks. But we're going to see. I'm not no doctor shit. I don't even got my bachelor's degree. So don't take it from me, but fingers crossed, good juju, and a speedy recovery to our body catch bandit, Acorn Head King, wide receiver 1, Terry McLaurin. What up, Big David? Keep up the solid work, Rio. I got you, my guy. Appreciate you for the $9.99 super chat donation, my guy. My brother, my gang, my dog, Paul Kiyoko. Welcome back to your channel membership. Welcome back again to the Rambler family, my guy. Hope you are all well. We're going to see who's going to step up. Next man up. Also, hashtag Rio Lay. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. Shout out to my boy Sharif and my boy BJ, because they might have started something, you know. They might have started something with the Rio Lay, and it would have hit minus a couple things. Video channel, appreciate you for the $5 super chat donation. Hope Terry is good to go for the season, but wide receiver needs to be a top free agent and first round priority. Yes. And that is a good segue into what does Washington do at wide receiver, if anything, right now? What is the pecking order of this receiver room? Who gets elevated? And We don't have the compensation to do so, but does Washington start scouring rosters throughout the league and consider making a trade for another wide receiver? Because if Terry's going to miss considerable time, it's Debo and a bunch of unknowns at the receiver position. Noah Brown, I don't act like he's a member of the roster anymore because he's either hurt or dropping passes at this point, and he's on the injury list every year of his career. We're not even going to factor him. I'm just going to treat him like he's on IR. But we got Debo Samuel, who will now be our number one option. And when I say Debo, I mean best kick returner in the league, Debo Samuel. Swiss Army knife, Debo Samuel. Debo Samuel is going to also get 4 or 5 carries a week. He's going to be wearing every hat for the offense and special teams here in DC. Do you pull him off kick return if Terry got to miss a few weeks? Because Debo becomes the number one, and all of those extra practice reps and sessions of him and Jaden throwing the ball this summer while Terry McLaurin was holding in will have to pay dividends, and we'll have to see that early return on investment because Debo becomes the central and focal point of the wide receiver room if Terry McLaurin has to miss time. After him, Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey. That is our triumvirate of starting receivers if Terry has to miss a considerable amount of time. Who fills out those last 2 spots? And, Chris Moore. Chris Moore is obviously there. So it looks like it's about to be Chris Moore season. Is it Chris Moore season, ladies and gentlemen? Is it Chris Moore season, ladies and gentlemen? So Debo Samuel, Jalen Lane, Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey, and who? Is it time to bring up big play Tay Martin? Word to my guy, Ed Oliver. Is it time to bring up Ja'Cory Brooks? Or does Washington need to pony up and do what they've had a propensity to do since Adam Peters got here and make a trade for another receiver? What does Washington do? I know that Kendrick Bourne acquisition would have been clutch as shit right now because we'd have another one. Do we convince Amari Cooper don't want to play football anymore, y'all? Amari Cooper don't want to be he don't want to play football anymore. I think he's lost his love for the game. I mean, it could have been after signing with the Raiders, he watched Geno Smith sling it in practice and said, nah, I'm cool on that. But I don't think Amari Cooper wants to play football anymore. OBJ is rinsed, washed, tumbled dry, folded, and put away with a lock on the door. I don't really think there are options. We have to elevate and we have to get more from the guys that we have in the building. So I'm going to run that to you. If Terry has to miss considerable time, is Deontay Johnson stupid ass still a free agent? Is he still a free agent? He's a head case, but I don't think beggars can be choosers right now. I don't, if we got to bring in another receiver, you know what I'm saying? We got to look past some specific qualifications and stuff like that. But if Terry has to miss a considerable amount of time, your number one is Debo Samuel. Outside, opposite him, Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey. In the slot, Jalen Lane, and you got to bring somebody up from the practice squad, probably Ja'Cory Brooks or big play Tay Martin, which no one calls him but the real Ed Oliver. Shout out to him. Commanders Kings on the way tonight. Do you just roll with the punches, or does Washington try to vet the trade market? We don't have a 2nd and a 4th round pick next year. Yes, we did acquire a 6th round pick for Brian Robinson, and value is not always crazy when you make in-season trades, but I don't think Washington can necessarily pony up and make another trade. I don't think we can make a trade for a receiver right now, y'all. I think we kind of got to rock with what we have in the building. We did make a signing this week. Shout out to Darnell Savage. Loved Darnell Savage coming out, by the way. That was the player we should have drafted in that spot, but the owner made us draft the quarterback because he attended high school with his son. So glad we're past those days. But I think we have to just roll with what we have, and Cliff, Jaden, Mariota, whoever's out there at quarterback need to make that shit work. We have one of those guys. show the world that you have one of those guys and that the system and that we can make work with what we have in the building. I don't think there's no saving grace for the wide receiver room. Lil Jordan Humphrey, I wouldn't sign him because I hate his name. I hate that his parents did that to him. Lil hyphen Jordan is one of the craziest names ever been said in an NFL uniform. I'm just kidding. But I don't think there's a solution out there. The solution's going to have to come from within and better and good quarterback play and good offensive coordinating by Cliff Kingsbury. But it's time for Jalen Lane to learn how to catch the football. It's time for him. We could be one of the best special teams in the league, especially if our kicker decides to straighten out. But our special teams looks like one of those. Izzo looks like he could be the special teams coach of the year. All we haven't done yet is run a damn kick back to the end zone and block a kick, but we're almost housing a kick every week of the season. But Jalen Lane, you are my solution on the roster. And speaking of Jalen Lane, it sounds like a good time to get back to what we do here. So we did this. We kept tradition. We kept it in the family week 1. The last year, Jaden Daniels set the record for Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week. And we made sure, even in weeks where he probably shouldn't have been the Rookie of the Week, we made sure he won that shit. We made sure that belt stayed home in BigBear.ai Performance Center. And we did so week 1 when Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill Crosky-Merritt, scored his first touchdown, had over 80 yards that day. Emeka Egbuka probably should have won it that week, but when you give fans the power, the sleeping giant that is the Washington fan base is going to take care of our own. So let's spend the next couple minutes doing what we do. And there were some great rookie performances. My boy, Big McLaurin Hampton, if you got him in fantasy, he's going nuts for the rest of the year. Najee Harris is out for the season. He's one of the many A-listers that were injured this week in week 3. McLaurin Hampton over 128 scrimmage yards. Cam Scatterboos, big slow ass, made the list. Luther Burden went crazy versus Dallas. Torrey Horton, probably the person who should win the award, and Carson Swessinger. That's what's up. I appreciate all of you boys for being on the ballot, but we finna run this thing up. We gonna run this thing up for our guy real quick. It's big Jalen Lane season, man. It's big Jalen Lane season, man. We got to give our guys some votes. You wake up, you vote. You go to sleep, you vote. Just keep doing it. Tyler Warren got it week 2. Bill got it week 1. Let's keep it us, man. Let's keep it us, because they don't nerf how many times we can vote. Run it up for our guy, Jalen Lane, man. But going back to the topic that I was just about to get into before Jalen Lane came up, Jalen Lane is the answer to our ailments at wide receiver. We need Jalen Lane. Jalen Lane dropped the touchdown on Sunday. He dropped the touchdown, back shoulder. It was a good enough throw for Marcus Mariota. Maybe the slant route is not his bag, because I haven't seen him show the aggressiveness at the catch point to catch a slant in tight coverage or contested wide. But whatever his bag is as a receiver, we got to find it. Hey, Cliff, crunch the Virginia Tech tape. I don't care if you got to start giving them jet sweeps. I don't care if you started bubble screens, wide receiver screen. Pull out that screen we used versus the Lions in the divisional round of the playoffs, where you had the 2 receivers bunched in front of him and he just can get through, get skinny, and it's a track meet. Nobody's catching Jalen Lane when he hits top speed. We have to find a way, maybe some deep overs, a bunch of mesh concept. We got to get him isolated and out in space and get the ball in his hands. Jalen Lane is the guy we got to get going, but he got to catch. He got to catch, man. He has to catch the fucking ball when it's thrown to him. And I think we're getting there. All it takes is one play as a young kid to see, I do belong in this league. I do this. This is nothing. That, and when you've accidentally become more important than you need to be right now. And with Terry McLaurin's quad injury, with Noah Brown taking his PTO annual trip to the injury list. You are important now. Lucas McCaffrey, you too, brother. You got in the end zone this week. We love to see it. That man did a goddamn Lambeau leap at Northwest Stadium on Sunday. I'm happy for him. Terry sprinted and got his game ball for him. Guess what, Luke? You are Luke again. You're no longer Lucas. You are a main character. You are not an NPC in this offense anymore. It's time for you to step up to the plate, keep getting separation, catch passes, and get the shit in the end zone again. That was a beautiful play call by Cliff Kingsbury. All he really had to do was run to the end zone. Shit, Luke almost had a 2-touchdown day because if Luke ain't fall on that kick return, it was a foot race between him and a kicker. And as negative as I've been on Luke McCaffrey, I got him outrunning a kicker for a touchdown. So wide receiver-wise, where I stand as we sit here before Dan Quinn touches the podium. When he's at the podium, y'all let me know in the chat. I will put him up. We know he's going to give us a bunch of nothing word soup, but I'm going to pull it up anyway so we can get some type of update. But that's the receiver room, y'all. That is the receiver room we got to work with. Terry could be out for a while, and that's what it sounds like. I'm going to expect I'm a pessimist. I am not a general optimist. I'm going to expect the worst. I'm not saying out for the year or no crazy shit like that, but he could miss a couple weeks to a month or so. But that's how I feel about the wide receiver room. The answer to it is not outsourcing. It's finding out what you got in these young guys. We keep hearing about Washington being the oldest team in the league, and we've looked like it at times this year. Your 30-year-old superstar receivers down. Now Debo got to run the room. Debo the old head in the room now, and these young boys need to step up to the plate. So Debo and the boys is the answer to the wide receiver position. That and maybe getting more out of your tight end. John Bates, we need you back very soon. Ben Sinnott was blocking his ass off on Sunday. You might got to start catching passes too as well, second rounder. But that's the answer, y'all. It's not outsourcing. It's not aggressively trying to make a trade for Jacoby Myers or Chris Olave, who I would love if his brains didn't get beat in over these last couple years. You know, Chris Olave is about one hospital ball from Spencer Rattler away from being Jordan Reed, the wide receiver addition at this point of his career. And playing for that team, that sounds like a likely outcome if he's not saved from that franchise. But I don't think a trade is the answer for this team. Let's move on to another topic. But before we get there, let's hear from a word from today's sponsor, the best fantasy app in the world. Make your picks this year using Rio 91 on Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you have a chance to win 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy. Football has never been more exciting than it is with players like Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Jamar Chase. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more. We're up to a 1,000 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you could win big using promo code RIO91. That was promo code RIO91, and you'll get up to a $100 match bonus on your first deposit. Terms and conditions may apply. So moving on from that, and you know, my favorite thing on Twitter is when someone gets injured and every person that has MD next to their name on Twitter, everybody's a professional doctor, and a lot of these guys are very credible. Everybody has the exact diagnosis. Everyone knows. I just seen someone say proximal quad hip flexor strain. No surgery required. Will miss a short period of time. That sounds good. That sounds legit as hell, but you never know because everybody that has MD in their bio ain't no doctor in real life. But anywho, moving on from the wide receiver, the quarterback, we still don't know. We still don't know. And let me get ready to pull up YouTube because when Dan Quinn goes live, I don't expect any type of update on the quarterback, but I don't think it's as simple as Marcus played good. He plays again this week. Everything will depend on whether Jaden is good to go or not. He's a grown man. He's a professional. While I said what Rio would do would sit him 2 weeks, the team not necessarily moving like that. And Jaden did practice on Friday. So that tells me that he may be playing this week. He don't need to be rushed back. But the big topic of this week was that I believe it was one of the dumbass sports junkies or something. Oh, Jaden had a brace on and then he didn't have a brace on, and they're bracing for a significantly longer injury than just 1 or 2 weeks. Well, the brace part was right. And you want to know how you make something stick on social media? You make one decent point and surround it with fluff and bullshit. We already know that he had a brace on. Everybody knew he had a brace. Bro, you sprained your knee. I might go get a brace if I sprained my knee, and I'd sit behind a computer and talk to a microphone every day. I know people that get knee braces just for the hell of it after they hit a certain age. Of course, Jaden had a knee brace on. That should not be news to anybody. But when do we expect to see Jaden Daniels return to football in 2025? Is it this week? Is it this week, everybody? I don't know. But I don't think the performance on Sunday from whoever we tried it out, which was Marcus Mariota, I don't think that plays a part in it. It's whether he's healthy or not, because you're the starting quarterback. When you're healthy enough to get on the football field, they're going to put you back on the football field, point blank, period. And based on everything I've heard out of the park, he was doing a lot. He was doing a lot to get on the field, and they had him running and sprinting and shit at practice on Friday. But I think we're in good hands if Marcus plays for another week. So I'm going to tell you the same shit that y'all called soft and pussy last week. I think it's an encore Marcus Mariota revenge game. I think Jaden gets one more week to get his body right to be homecoming king in LA next week when he goes back to California to see Justin Herbert and the Chargers that are probably going to be 4-0 because the Chargers are playing against Jackson Dart and the New York Giants. Yes, the Giants bench, rinse, washed, and tumbled Russ for Jackson Dart yesterday. And what a game he has to play in his first one. An undefeated Chargers team whose defense is driving offenses crazy right now. My boy Reese, what it do, gang? Make sure y'all smash that like button. Y'all heard met my guy Reese on Sunday, and he held it down with some tickets and the parking pass on Sunday. Gang, man, that boy was turned up. That boy was turned up on Sunday, man. It was such a good vibe. I might have to pop back out there for the birthday game when the Bears come to town week 6 on Monday Night Football. I'll probably be back in there because, man, it was a time we had at Northwest Stadium the other night. But I think Jaden's out this week too. Coach is live now. Say less. Say less. We here. We're pulling it up right now. Let's hear the word soup of the day from one D Quinn. Hopefully D Quinn's good. Man, that boy was bleeding like shit on Sunday. Whole lot of bleeding. All right, let me pull up DQ right now. Give me a second, gang. Give me a second, gang. Let's go.
For him by Friday.
Let's start it from the top. Here comes today's word soup.
All right. What's up, everybody? All right. I told you I'd have an update on some injuries, and I'll kind of get started on that, and then we'll get into the game. So first, let's start with Jaden. He'll continue in his return to play process.
Missed y'all back, man. I missed y'all back.
You'll see him out
there.
I know.
I didn't see you Sunday, man. Damn, yo.
And we'll continue to rely on the medical team, to fully clear him. But what I can say is, man, he is doing everything you possibly can to get there. The guy's the ultimate competitor for us. You know that. I know that. But he is absolutely digging it. As far as the other injuries,
I don't work like that.
And I'll take it through Friday and give you the updates as it goes. Then lastly, just, the matchup for this weekend. And last time went into extra time, to go through that and give you the updates as it goes. Then lastly, just, the matchup for this weekend. And last time went into extra time, to go through that, and we expect that kind of same fight and battle again. We'll need to have that complimentary football.
I think they might play him this week.
Again.
I wouldn't, but I think they might play him this week.
Rocking with you guys.
So with Terry, what can you say that is he getting more information on his quad, and what's the level of concern for him for Sunday?
Yeah, it's pretty normal that when you have something that a second opinion takes place.
I'll be turning 34 on the 14th.
Just the opposite. It's it's really common. Almost everybody does that in some spaces. So as we get into, I'll have a better answer, as I get closer to, or as I get into Friday, then we'll have a sense for
that boy
okay,
Terry
where's-
not
what's
playing
like
this
for
week.
Sunday.
Y'all don't got to.
And then with Jaden, what is it? Excuse me,
He
that
not
you've been able
playing
to
this
watch him do so far? Is he able? You talked about the
Jaden
cutting,
might,
the
Terry
pivoting.
not.
Have you been able to watch him do any of those kind of activities?
I have, and like I said, he's worked really hard on that space, and so we'll lean in on the medical side too, John, just to make sure they'll, be the ones to fully clear. But he's working really hard to hit all the stuff that he needs to hit.
Do you expect Terry to be at practice today?
I don't expect Terry to be at practice today. He will be out for today.
I'll
have updates for him by Friday of where we're at for the game.
Okay. Special teams question. I know
Yes.
you addressed it on Monday, but you mentioned how that's part of your play style. You guys take a lot of pride in it. When did you start to feel like that could be sort of a weapon for you guys or give you guys an edge?
I'm going to go back because I think it's important on it, Nikki. When the new kickoff rule started, we were right at the front of that to say, can this be an advantage? Can we find a space that we could create that from field position to identity? So I thought it would begin there on the kickoff and kickoff return side. Then as we got to learn it better, and we were all kind of the first part, remember there was a lot from OTAs through training camp. So I thought it began then, and then adding, obviously Tress, the way he can punt, putting people down, and the different style of players, like obviously Revo and, is at the front of it, but then it's Ballore and then Percy Butler and others that just started to emerge in this way. And we thought, man, this can be a weapon for us, and we can really push and feature the guys and use them in those ways. But I think it was the kickoff,
Man, these injuries
and the
spanking us,
decisions
man,
to
but
say
our special
we're gonna go
teams
for it
is like
and-
that.
and really try to be at the front of this. If we
And
can.
y'all better
I think
get
that was
used
the
to
start.
Matt Gay, because
Hey, Coach, I know you guys
let me
are very
stop this real quick. I just want to go on a quick rant. Y'all better get used to Matt Gay, because we are living and dying on the Gay Hill this year. We are dying on the hill of Gay. They are going to ride with him. They are not about to sign any of these recently released kickers. They paid that boy, and they're going to get all the services and all the meat off the bone of that guy. They're going to kick till he ain't got no Achilles left this year. Matt Gay isn't going anywhere. That is not necessarily a good thing for this team, but I just wanted to let y'all know our kicker is our kicker.
diligent in that
Unless he
return
gets
to
hurt.
play process. But
Let
it's
me
the
knock
fact
on
that
wood.
Sunday's game is, still September football, an early season game. Does that time period shift whether or not you guys are going to maybe encourage guys to play Sunday versus if it were a postseason, late season game? Does that timeline factor in at all?
No. Yeah, I think they're all in the same space, and like the medical team putting the whole thing together for it. They have guidelines they want to follow. So no, I think everything's kind of the way we go after it is consistent.
The way the team responded with Marcus, obviously there's a high level of confidence in him.
Boy, turn your mic up, chick. God damn.
What was he able to give you?
It sound like he was asking that question from the
you knew a
parking
lot
lot.
about him already.
I don't know if I learned
Boy, step up.
anything because of what I've seen, over the year and a half. I was one of the least surprised people that he would play well in the stadium because what I've seen out here and the work I did know.
Like down on the Gay Hill, bro.
The work that he puts in to get himself ready. So I've seen all of that, Chick. So I don't know if I learned anything different other than confirming.
I mean, he was a good
this is a
kicker.
real competitor in this style. And
They
the
told us
attitude,
he
the way
didn't
that
miss
plays just suits him,
Before 50
so
yards,
well
and
in
now
this
he's
system.
missing from 37.
You talked about Jeremy. Obviously, with Will out, he's probably in line for more playing
Oh, my
time.
Louis
What
t-shirt
has most
today.
impressed you about him? I guess on the defensive side of the ball, we know what he does on special teams, but on defense,
That boy Chick
What
was
I noticed
asking that
jumped
shit from Northwest.
From 2024 to 2025, man, the speed elevated even again. Is that a year after being injured?
I
Could
see
be.
y'all there. That's the
But I felt
birthday
like the
night.
speed and the tackling even ramped up more. I saw it in the preseason games. I saw it at practice too. And
I mean,
so
The
we had
Bears
already
game is
seen some of
pride
that
night.
begin,
know?
but I felt the speed and the
Shout out to
tackling
Caleb.
at
Just
that
kidding.
position.
Just
He's
kidding.
usually right
Just
in the middle
kidding.
of all of it.
Sometimes
did
you got to
feel that-
stop a
That
specialist.
level up in 2025
I
from
always believe in that.
spring training camp and into the early part of the season.
Words to
I
live
know you
by
won't
right now.
know about Terry's status and probably Noah Brown as well until the end of the week. But if they can't go, what kind of opportunity would that be for guys like Jalen and Luke to get some more playing time?
Jalen and Luke season.
Yeah, that's where you usually lead to when you don't know where that's going to be. What I do know is that we have a big, deep crew, at a lot of spots, and we train the players that don't count on this as a possibility, but more as a certainty of knowing that at some point, when that space comes where you're called upon, that you're able to deliver. It's one of the best feelings that you can provide to your teammates to do that. So what does that look like during the week at all the positions, showing you're ready, showing that you're able to. So when that
Quinn with the
opportunity
Guardian
comes,
cap.
you're just ready to do it.
Hey, wearing a Guardian cap
Might be
with
at
no
one
helmet
position
would
one
be the
time, and then
funniest
another
shit
one,
in the
hey, now
world.
it's at this one. And so
Tua should be wearing a
you just
Guardian
push
cap
this
to go to
70-man
sleep at
roster
this point.
all the way forward, all the way in. And if you can demonstrate you're ready,
Coach
then when
wearing
your
a
opportunity
Guardian
comes,
cap
you have a lot of
would be
confidence
funny
because
as
you put
shit.
the work in.
We would be the first
with
team to have a coach
an
wear a
opponent
Guardian cap.
making changes on the offensive side in terms of play calling and things like that. What sort of a challenge does that present for you?
That's David Aldridge.
Maybe not knowing
I
what
was like,
to
who's that
expect,
talking like?
or
That's
you
David
can't
Aldridge.
worry about
Shout
or
out DA.
guess at what might change.
Yeah, I can't worry about that. I think those things take place, and you speaks to his team's urgency, where they're at.
Man, he's
what
a
they're trying to hit
veteran.
on, what might be the
Nicole is
the
a
emphasis
veteran.
for them.
He got
Sometimes
a
it's
dirt
with the
route
player,
tree, but he's
to make
fast
sure
and
he
he's
gets
played
more touches, he
championship
does,
football
more
before.
factor into it. So
He's kind of
you have to let it
but I
play
mean,
out. Those are out of our control.
it's just Lane and Luke
You're aware of
show
those, and
after
then
Debo.
but
If
as far
Terry
as
got to miss
trying
a
to
month or so.
lean in too much to it, we
Oh,
generally
and big
don't do
Chris
that.
Moore. My bad. Gamer
With,
Chris Moore, not practice
the
Chris
kicking game, what, if any, is your level of concern about inconsistency there, and have you, or will you bring in anyone?
Why does he
to
sound
compete
like
for that spot?
Richard
Yeah, we have a lot of
Pryor
confidence
doing
in
an
Matt
impression
to
right
go.
now?
I was pleased to
Why he
see,
sound like-
the one at the end of the half. So as we're going through it, we're still digging in to find our
Romeo
spaces to
Dobbs
go.
looked
But
crazy as shit
no,
out
we have
there in the
full
Guardian
belief in
cap.
Hey, Dan, Sunday's going to be a special game for you, too, because obviously you coached in Atlanta. You have a lot of friends there, and I'm sure a lot of memories there. What is that going to be like for you going in there as a head coach of the Commanders?
We still
where you
want to
used
get the
coach
3-1
in Atlanta?
I don't care how we get it done.
Well, it's not like a return to one go. We've played them, last year and, done it other times before, but always have like
Ja
huge
likes
gratitude
sports.
for
First
Arthur
of
Blank,
all,
his family.
love
and,
the name.
giving
Ja
me the
likes
opportunity
sports.
to
That
do
is
that.
so
But
DC.
past
That's so
it's for the
DMV.
guys and
Love the
in between the
content.
white lines.
Perfect
So,
blend of insight and
we'll be
comedy.
ready to battle
You helped
too.
inspire me to get the ball
Coach,
rolling. I
next
love
man
that,
up
man.
seems like a cliche
All right.
term used during
All right,
sports.
Dan Quinn. All right, DQ. It was real. It was real. We'll get back to you in a second, man. Dan Quinn, very insightful. Don't tell us shit, but it sounds like he's telling us everything. Love how inviting the coaching staff. Love how we do business here. We'll get back to him in a second. I appreciate anybody I can inspire to do this, because I should be a figure that shows you that anybody can do this, because I'm just yapping from the crib about my favorite football team. And any of us can do that. We are all fans of the team. So appreciate that, man. I love the name of the channel. Love the logo. Keep it rolling. Keep it going. Be consistent. They come for the content. They stay for you. Always be yourself. Do it your way. Don't worry about what anybody else tells you. And as far as advice goes, take heed to it, but do not follow it. You know what I'm saying? Guide your own path doing this shit. JTF, pile up wins, get guys back healthy. We'll be okay. So that's what this season has turned into at this point, because the CVS linked receipt injury report list weekly just find ways to continue to win games, because the schedule is going to get real schedule-y very soon. You got to beat this Atlanta Falcons team on Sunday. Do I think Atlanta is as bad as they looked versus the Carolina Panthers on Sunday? Fuck no. I don't think they're nearly that bad. Do I think they're a good football team? Also, fuck no. I don't. We're better than this team. I think we're better with Jaden on the field. I think we're better with Marcus Mariota on the field. We are better than the Atlanta Falcons. I don't want to get too deep into details about this one, because we're going to do the game preview stream tomorrow. Today, we're talking injury report. We're opening up the week and things we'd like to see. Guys need to step up, all of that type of stuff, and lasting thoughts from Sunday afternoon. But you're better than this football team, regardless of which quarterback walks out the door. When you put Josh Johnson out there, that's when you start to have a conversation about as if Atlanta is better than Washington. But This is still a test. We're going on the road. This is DQ's first time back to Atlanta since he was the head coach. Since he's the head coach again. I mean, he's obviously been to Atlanta as a DC after he was fired. But the same guy that told us the exact amount of days it was so he was fired from Atlanta, he gets a second crack at them, but the first time back in their stadium. So it's going to be lit, man. Yeah, go ahead and call it about 9, Paul. Commanders, Kings, let's call it about 9 tonight. And now, yes, YouTube is my full-time job now. I quit working about a summer ago. And this is what I do full-time. I wake up and yap, and I do it on my schedule. And if you follow me for a while, you know my schedule could be a little erratic all over the place. It could change at any time, but I thank all of y'all for rocking with your boys. So, DQ, revenge game. Marcus Mariota, revenge game. We are going to pack that stadium up in Atlanta because this is an easy drive for a lot of y'all that can make the drive. My boy Street Scores is going to be in the building because he's from the A and he hates the Falcons. He's going to be there. So make sure y'all run up on my boy Street Scores and say what's good. Get a flick with him when you see him at the game. But, man, DQ got something to prove Sunday. Marcus Mariota has something. Do y'all remember the first season of Quarterback? Netflix's Quarterback. It was Mahomes, it was Kirk Cousins, and the third quarterback was Marcus Mariota. Mariota was almost clipped from the cast mid-season because he went AWOL on the team. He went home to go nurse his family with his wife. He went home to his family when they pulled him, and he left the team mid-season. There is bad blood. There is ill will. So expect if Mariota's out there, demon time, just like he was against the Raiders. And I don't think there was no ill will coming from him and the Raiders, but demon time. Is Dos Rio Productions going to be a thing this Sunday? Yeah, Lil Rio be here. He's having his first high school homecoming this weekend, so he'll probably have some fun stories to tell about homecoming night. You know, that boy is going in his homecoming suit. Is inspired by Jaden Daniels' draft night suit. So he about to get clean and go to homecoming. He'll be with me on Sunday. Him and my baby girl, they'll be with me for the watch party on the channel. And yes, obviously, I missed the watch party. I was at the game. I miss kicking it with y'all during the game. We back at it this Sunday afternoon when we play the Falcons. So we got DQ and Mariota looking for revenge on Sunday. And I don't know what the rest of this team looks like. Is Trey Amos okay? Because he's our best corner. Marshawn's already out of the concussion protocol. We're not worried about Marshawn Lattimore. Who's starting at safety? And what kind of leash does Jeremy Reeves have at safety? What type of leash does Jeremy Reeves get opposite Quan Martin? Or is it just his world? Does Darnell Savage, someone who's played a lot more safety reps on NFL Sundays and is only still 28 years old, does Savage get out there and start sooner than later? Or is Reeves going to get a real crack at being the guy next to Quan Martin? What y'all think? What y'all think, man? Miles Morales, it's his favorite character, and he thinks he is Miles Morales. Just like Miles Morales, black dad, Puerto Rican mom, you know, same shit. Hair, long hair, you know, got some swag to him, but he's a dork. He's living, breathing Northern Virginia Miles Morales. So when he sees this comment, he'll probably be psyched. He better not see it because he's in school right now, and he better be off that damn phone. But maybe we'll put him in the burgundy next year for homecoming, but he hitting him with the sky blue suit like Jaden at draft night. So I'm excited though, even though, Darnell Savage is wearing number 25. Y'all, we need to do like an exorcism and we need to baptize that jersey. But the Benjamin St. Juice jersey is back in town and it is on a player. Darnell Savage is wearing number 25. You know, hashtag numbers matters over here. So now he's definitely got some dork in him because I got dork in me too. We both some dorks. Like we're nerds. We're both some fucking nerds. I don't take that word as derogatory at all. You know, got some swag to us though. But 25 jersey, you know, hashtag numbers matter on this side. How do we feel about number 25? Darnell Savage is officially wearing number 25 for this team this year. How we feel about that? How do we feel about it? Are we gonna be superstitious about it? Are we upset about it? Let me pull it up. Carlin Vigors, which no one cares about, has moved to 37, but Darnell Savage is in 25. And we can talk about Darnell Savage. What are our expectations for Darnell Savage at this point? Because you get released after 2 weeks of the season, after a couple years in Jacksonville. Getting released is never a sign that you're in ascension. You're never really ascending when you get released mid-season. But how we feel about 2-5? How we feel about Savage? I know what he was 4 years ago. I know what he was coming into the league. I don't know why he was released. And also, a very interesting release happened at safety yesterday, too. C.D. Gardner-Johnson, our former biggest op, former safety of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Texans released him yesterday. They call him a locker room cancer. I think his type of energy is needed in every locker room. But on the field, he's been on bullshit since he got to the no-fly zone in Houston. They flying this year. It ain't the no-fly zone in Houston right now. He was released after 3 weeks of football. Would y'all take a chance on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? I feel like he about to go back to Philly on a sweetheart deal. He about to go back to Philly on a cheap-ass deal. You know? I don't think we sign him. I would take a look. Get Lil Rio, Jim Carrey suit from Dumb and Dumber. No, I ain't going to set him up like that. I ain't going to set him up like that. Yep, all about the system for sure. All about the system. We're not signing Chauncey. I will say it right now. I will let y'all know, especially after signing Darnell Savage. He demanded the release. He requested the release. Okay. So what is he at this point of his career? Because I'll tell you my thoughts on it. I think that's going to be the guy who takes the most safety rep. Maybe not this week because he just got here, but I think Darnell Savage is going to be the full-time safety next to Quan Martin within the next 3 weeks and going forward, because Will Harris is going to miss the majority of the season. I think he's the safety. I like Jeremy Reeves. I like the screw loose, bat out of hell, take the top off of every person in front of you, even your own teammates at times. I think Darnell Savage is the full-time safety. Clean sky blue, 3-piece suit for homecoming. We ain't gonna hit him with the 3 though. We're gonna have him with some chains over a white shirt, you know, and he's rocking J's with it because it's homecoming. It ain't prom, so we don't gotta be too formal. No tie, white shirt, chains over him, little Cuban. Legend blue, Jordan 11s with it. Oh, he gonna be clean, man. I gotta get him twisted up too. We about to go to the barbershop after I get off stream and he get out of school today. But yeah, he about to put the look together. I think Savage is the starter once he's acclimated. What is the acclimation period required for safety? You don't got to learn this expansive 1,000-page playbook like on offense, but Savage is your safety. I think I trust him more than Jeremy Reeves, and he just got here. Am I wrong to believe that? Am I wrong to believe that Darnell Savage is going to come in here and be the starting safety very soon, and he's not going to look back, and he's going to be right next to Quan Martin? Because I don't know if Jeremy Reeves, he gives me the feeling that I get from Marcus Mariota or a good backup quarterback. There's a cap to it. There's a ceiling to it, and there's not but so much coverage I need to see Jeremy Reeves in because that's not his expertise. I think Darnell Savage is a guy who's played a lot of safety in this league, and he's even played it at a high level. I'm trusting that over special teams ace. He do be hitting, though. He do be hitting. Yep, last line of defense. It matters as much as anything out there. I think I trust the dude who's played a lot more NFL safety than the guy who's played a lot more special team. And that's not me hating on Jeremy Reeves. I like Reeves in the box, closer to the line of scrimmage. Darnell Savage has the ability to cover. Has he been great recently? No. But I've seen him be great before. And for that, I think I trust them more back there, man. I think I trust them more back there, man. The Giants, I've seen this on Twitter. This isn't my joke, but they say you can't keep a young hoe down for too long. Young Wei Koo signed with the New York Giants. You know, a lot of people wanted us to sign Young Wei Koo, even though he's also not good. But Matt Gay, I feel y'all for wanting to give him competition, you know? It's like your significant other sometimes, you know, I'm not saying cheat or do anything crazy like that. But what I am saying is, you know, sometimes they need to know that you can still get them, you know. Sometimes you got to light a fire under. They need to know that you're still capable and they like you out here. They need to know that the streets miss you a little bit. Sometimes you just need some competition in the room. Sometimes you just need someone in the room that got you thinking, if you mess up at any point, you can be replaced. Sometimes it's needed, man. Sometimes it's needed. So I ain't mad at people for feeling like our kicker needs some competition in the room at some point. But Darnell Savage, I think that's going to end up being a big addition for us. I think Darnell Savage is the starting safety by the end of the month. Well, by the end of Chargers week, Darnell Savage is going to be our starting safety, you know? You got to do it, man. You got to do it. Bringing in, destroying the Utah. I wouldn't bring him in, bro, because whatever fake league he was playing in, he got hurt almost immediately. Almost immediately. Knew you had to be live. Check your text. What up, Ashley? What up, Lady A? Shout out to Ashley. Yes, this is the same Ashley that was in my vlog. This is the bestie right here. Shout out to Ashley. Lady A on social media. Y'all give her a follow with her punk ass. I'll check my messages when I can. I'll be in contact. We got to sign a receiver. Who though? Who we signing? I don't think there's no saving grace out here. I don't think there's a saving grace or anybody out there that's going to solve our problem. We got to depend on these young. Y'all keep telling me I'm too negative about Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey, prove it to me. Prove it to yourself and prove it to the rest of this fan base. We drafted Luke McCaffrey in the 3rd round. Jalen Lane, you can return punts. Love that. You're going to be one of the best punt returners in the league. Can you catch the ball? We kind of have to roll with the punches of who's already in the building. You know, we have to. So Mecole Hardman, Deontay Johnson, like those are the options out there. Those are the options out there. Don't size her up too hard, though. Don't size her up too. That's gang right there. That's family right there. Don't size her too hard, though. She all right. Shout out to Ashley. She know what she is. She know what she is. But I don't think there's no answers, y'all. I don't think there's no answer out there, and I don't think this team has the facilities to go out and make an aggressive trade for a receiver right now. So it's time for Lucas and Lane, the law firm of Lucas and Lane. It's time for them to get active. It's time for them to catch footballs, get separation, and show us something, because my negative ass thinks Terry's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. I'm nobody. I have no medical field. The verbiage and the way this is being presented to us sounds like a month of football plus for Terry, but hopefully that's not the case. That's how a white boy gets the football. Hey, I need him moving like Scatterboo moving at running back for the Giants. You know, I hate Cam Scatterboo for whatever reason. He's the most terrible fire football player there is, man. Very likable, and he is. If Dan Quinn was an NFL running back, that's Cam Scatterboo. He's up for Rookie of the Week this week. Don't let him win it though. Don't let him win it though. I don't know if Tanner still got it left in him, but hey, go for it, man. Rio, you seen Bay Adams clap back at some goofy Eagles fan the other day? Now, what happened? Somebody was talking crazy to who's talking crazy to Kay Adams? That sweet ass little woman, that adorable little woman. Who's talking sweet to Bay Adams, man? Of course, it would be an Eagles fan. Of course, it would be an Eagles fan. Nobody's scared of hoes more than an Eagles fan. Go get Brandon Ayuk. Why not? Brandon Ayuk knee is still recovering. It's still putting itself back together. We don't want to bring in another injured. Well, he's coming off of a bad injury. His knee was pulled pork in the ligament last year. I don't know if that's the answer, man. Rio ate the ha note. And so he stayed playing in the city. He stayed playing. Hey, chill out, dog. Hey, chill out, dog. I play in all climates, man. I play in all climates, man. I like to broaden my horizons out here, man. Someone better not have been talking trash about my Queen Bay. I know we'll ride at dawn for K. We'll ride at dawn for Bay Adams, man. We like the guys in the bit. What he used to say, everything we need is in this room. That boy was lying like shit. Ron Rivera was lying like shit to that 4-13 team. Everything we need is here in this room. We ain't have nothing we needed in this room. Cupboard was bare as hell. Squalor, poverty, you know? Whenever her and her producer leave me off red in the emails, man. Jamison Crowder, there we go. He on the streets right now, right? You know, we don't want to keep adding to this trope of being the oldest team in the league, but sometimes beggars can't be choosers. Jamison Crowder knows the offense. Jamison Crowder actually excelled and caught touchdowns and had a game winner in this offense. Why not get old man Jamison Crowder here for one more stint with the team? F it, bro. Rio will slide for Bay Adams Robinson. Sure would. I'd definitely slide for K in a heartbeat. You know, but why not bring him back? KJ Osborne, no. Well, he's still out there, of course, right? Is he on the practice squad? I need to check the practice squad again. I try to not do that, but maybe we need to check the practice squad one more time. But Ben Sennett's success alongside Bates' eventual return from injury suggested the team will have a powerful and versatile 1-2 punch tight end. And we were doing a lot of 12 personnel type 2 tight end sets versus the Raiders on Sunday. Maybe the answer is this second round tight end that we drafted last year. Let's throw him the football because we didn't draft him to be an extension of the offensive line in the second round. We didn't draft him to be Kyle Juszczyk. We drafted him to be a tight end. So I love to see that he was blocking well and he was putting dicks in the dirt on Sunday. Can he catch the ball? Can he run a route? Can he get separation? Those things matter too. Chris Moore season's coming. Hey, and the couple times we've seen him this year, he did what he needed to do and he caught the football. He got the drops. He's out of his system. Apparently, he's a Sunday afternoon kind of guy. Don't make him catch passes in preseason and meaningless games. He only shows up when the lights shine the brightest. Chris Moore legacy game coming up this weekend versus the Atlanta Falcons, bro. Chris Moore legacy game. Y'all ready for the Chris Moore legacy game? Y'all ready for the Chris Moore legacy game? I can't wait, man. We're at Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Who all, show of hands in the chat, who's traveling to Atlanta to the Mercedes-Benz Dome? Who's going to the Dome on Sunday? Washington's taking the wheel at Mercedes-Benz Superdome. I will not be at this one. I will be at the Chicago Bears game on Monday Night Football, Week 6, night before my 34th birthday. And if you ain't get your tickets to it yet, Rio 10 on SeatGeek. I've been looking to find the best deal on Washington Commanders tickets for the 2025 season, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more. The NFL is right around the corner and MLB is in full swing. I love using SeatGeek. Recently used it, lock in my training camp tickets. Most notably, I was at the Grand National Tour with my son, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 through 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know I had to come through for y'all using promo code RIO10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code RIO10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically sent to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this video. So I was probably yapping over Dan Quinn when he was talking about this, but Jaden will be speaking to the media this afternoon, and he'll be taking the quarterback presser. If we wanted any inclination to which way they are leaning and treating this thing this week, he didn't do this last week. It was Marcus Mariota at the podium on Wednesday, and they were playing the old okie doke switcheroo type thing and seeing what he could do on Friday. Well, Jaden's out here on a limited basis. It's not going to be a week of DMPs at practice for Jaden this week. So we're going to see some 5 versus Atlanta. We're going to see some 5, man. I can't wait to see Rio start trying to push Wizards tickets. Hey, I pushed the shit out of Wizards ticket. Them shits probably cost like $8, bro. Y'all can go see the Wizards for the low. Meanwhile, the Commanders tickets, you need that promo code. It costs like $150, $200 just to get a parking pass. Them parking passes is crazy. The price of success and the team being good and the culture being damn good, you paying $200 just to park at the stadium, bro. Take the metro, ride share, ride with a friend. That's my advice on that, man. Do I think we should have kept Diami? In situations like right now where the whole room is hurt, you can see why you needed to do it. I was fine either way with letting him go or keeping it, because other than the postseason, Diami had not done nearly enough in his career to be a guy that we needed to bring back. But sure could use him right now. Sure could use him right now. Being in the chat is like being around brothers that I never had. I love it here. Hey, Songbird, salute to you. We all brothers, sisters, cousins. We all family in here. Whenever you are in the chat over here, it's like family. Sometimes we got to yell at our family. Sometimes we cuss at our family. We laugh at our family. We share the good times and the bad times. We let them all roll together as a family. And that is exactly what I'm going for with this channel. You know, it's everything Washington Commanders from the perspective of an unhinged fan. We have fun over here. I am not the media. I don't work for the team. I know some people in some of those places. You ain't never going to hear per sources from Rio Robinson. I promise you that. And if you ever see me do that bullshit, y'all better jump me and kick my back in, because we don't move like that over here. We're not no fake insiders over here. I'm just a fan, man. F the metro or carpool and not messing with that parking at North. Yeah. You got to. The sign Zion Williamson. Zion, per usual, he's in shape going into camp, but give him a month of season, he won't. I'll take Terry out with JD5 back in. So let's assume Jaden plays this week, but no Terry McLaurin. The game plan is still the game plan, right? The game plan is still the game plan. And I think Jaden is due to have one of those type of performances. The real question. I know, man. Y'all want me to get that joint. I know y'all want me to pull that tree out. It just feels crazy. I'll put it out November 1st. Because I love the holidays so much. I'll keep the tree up from November to February. But pulling the tree out in September feels sacrilegious. It feels crazy. It feels nuts, bro. I feel like I'm going to get judgment. Our Wizards are going to be an exciting, terrible team. Cam Whitmore, and yeah, they did get Cam Whitmore and Trey Johnson. They're going to be fun, and they building it right. I trust Dawkins and them. Dawkins and Winger's going to get them boys right. I want them to make me care about the Wizards again. I want them to make me care about it so you can get Wizards content out of me. With all the other DC sports, I'm fair weather. I've always supported the Wizards quietly, but you know, I be watching LeBron and them, bro. I'm a big LeBron fan, but that tree did become a tradition. I'm pulling out the tree in November. We're going to get right back to it. But looking at Washington's next 4 games, Atlanta on Sunday, at the Chargers, Monday night at home versus the Chicago Bears, and then it's at Dallas. That's probably going to be without CeeDee Lamb when we get there. I don't know about y'all. We need to win 3 or 4 of these games. We need to win 3 out of 4 of these games before the schedule starts scheduling. and we run into the Chiefs that are probably not going to look like the Chiefs that we're watching right now, the Detroit Lions that are looking geared up to make a run at the number 1 seed again, the schedule is going to start getting very difficult. So I know we're banged up. I know we're going through a lot right now, but as long as we can keep pace with Philadelphia in the East and with the better teams in the NFC, you win as many games as possible. If you can win 3 of the next 4, that's what, 5-2 through 7 weeks? Just 3 of the next 4. So you need 3 out of this group of 4 games. Falcons, Bears, Chargers, Cowboys. You can get 3 out of those 4, we're in business. If you get 2 out of 4, what's that? 4-3? I don't want 4-3. I'm cool on 4-3. The fucking Eagles look like they're just going to find a way to win every week of the season. They're getting their gangster tested every Sunday and still finding a way to come out on top. So 3 out of the next 4, 5-2 start. I demand it. And if Jaden is taking the field, we need to see the real Jaden Daniels on Sunday and not the Jaden that we saw versus the Green Bay Packers. And I think it's going to be that. I don't think Atlanta's going to look like they did versus Carolina, but Jaden, we can't lose to the Atlanta Falcons, bro. Don't make Chocolate Tua look like the second coming of Michael Vick this Sunday, because Penix was dotting us up on Sunday Night Football last year. Eagles can't be the next Chief. It looked like they did it looks like when they beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, there was like a blood sacrifice, and they now have the witch magic. They have stolen the witch magic from the Chiefs. The same way the Chiefs managed to escape 15 times and go 15-2 last year. It felt like the Eagles on that type of run. Tampa, I need you to stop it. The Rams gave up a 19-point lead in the second half. I need Tampa Bay to lock in. Get focused. You isolate Emeka Egbuka, who is a dog, by the way. Isolate him with the cornerback opposite Quinn Mitchell. I think that's a Dory Jackson still. And go at him early, go at him often. There's no Mike Evans. Don't care. Please beat the Eagles on Sunday. I was looking at the scoreboard from the stadium. I was telling my son not to get too excited because the Eagles always find a way. I was looking forward to ending the week watching the whole division lose, us win, and there being a tie at the top of the division. I was mad as shit seeing that they came back and won that game. You know? I hope not, but the Eagles got that bullshit power with them right now, man. Shouldn't have lost that game. Did they let off and then they got 2 kicks blocked. Like, when have you ever heard of you can't block 2 kicks in Madden? Who blocks 2 kicks in a football game? My God, man. I'm telling you, they've taken the powers away from the Chiefs, and it's terrifying. So I need someone to slow that shit down before it really gets rolling, because Jalen Hurts found himself in the second half of that game, and I'm going to give him props where it was due. He went off. He went off in the second half of that game. Hopefully that doesn't continue, though, because he'll pull that out once a year. He'll pull that type of performance out once every 6 to 8 weeks. Hopefully that's the last time we see that. Penix, Chocolate Tua minus the Guardian cap, but add in the do-rag. A Guardian cap do-rag would be. It's funny that he wears a do-rag 24/7 and his waves don't even spin like that. That's pretty crazy, man. Hey, luck, which magic, call it what you want. They're stacking wins, and nobody's repeated in this division in 21 years. They're in prime position to do so, but Washington is the only team in the division that's going to challenge them for that. It ain't bum-ass Dallas, whether CD was healthy or not. It ain't Dallas. It's us. I know our whole team is on the goddamn hospital bed right now, but we're the team in the division that can shake things up. We're the team in the conference that can shake things up. Amos is practicing. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Let Brooks eat. Maybe it might be time for some Ja'Cory Brooks sometime soon. It may be time for some Ja'Cory Brooks sometime soon. But We're going to preview this game tomorrow. He's a diva since he met Buddy Baker. He met Buddy Baker a while ago. He didn't just meet him. But I don't think it's no curse. I don't think it's anything of the sort. But what I do think is we're going to be all right. And we're going to find out a lot about how good our quarterback is. And we're going to find out a lot about how good guys like Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, and company are. What up from California? JQ. One more time. Shout out to my guy, JQ. I hope you know you made my son's entire life at the game on Sunday. When you gave him that signed Jaden Daniels card, holographic prism, whatever, that made his entire life. It was his jaw dropped. He can't believe it. He already done framed it and put it next to his Terry McLaurin rookie card, because I got that one a few years ago as well. But JQ, you're the man. My guy had his Redskins cape on. It was a pleasure meeting you at the stadium on Sunday. I appreciate you. And everybody that I met, spoke to, that we got to kick it with, chop it up, from the tailgate, from the Pepsi tailgate to the red zone lot command corner tailgate to the mini ventures inside of Northwest Stadium. It was a blast. It was a ball out there. And JQ, I appreciate you, my guy, for holding it down from California. You made my son's day on Sunday, my guy. Appreciate you for that, man. Jalen Lane for Rookie of the Week. Oh, don't mind if we go back and do it some more. Hey, y'all know how we do with the Rookie of the Week. We keep that thing in the family. Go to the website, Rookie of the Week. Pepsi, NFL Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week, and just spam it. Just run it up a few times. Just keep going, clicking on Jalen Lane. We got to keep that belt in the family for 2 out of 3 weeks of the season. Should he get it this week? No. It should be Torrey Horton or Luther Burden or Omarion Hampton or, dare I say, Cam Scatterboo. But our guy's on the list, so we're going to hold it down. He would have a better case from my end if he would have caught that touchdown that he dropped earlier in the game. But you know what? Jalen Lane, you're the Rookie of the Week on my books. The Rookie of the Week in our heart is the Rookie of the Week, bro. Run it up for our guy. Run it up for our guy. I'll leave this on the screen just so you guys know, and don't forget to run it up for our guy. You got a pick of the card. I'll take a picture of it. I did have it in the vlog. I can pull it up. I can pull it up from the vlog. Let me pull that up. I'll pull up my stadium vlog, because, whenever I go out to the stadium, I'm going to try to give y'all some sights and sounds. I am a very shitty camera person, and I don't always be having it focused because I be trying to lock in on the game, but also give y'all some content. But I'm going to give y'all, as best as I can, a glimpse into what my entire day was like whenever I go to an. So I got y'all. I'm going to pull up the card. I'm going to pull it up on screen from the vlog. And hey, bro, y'all leave us alone about the way we was throwing that football on the vlog. That shit. Matter of fact, look, we got to go on. Hold on. We got to roast my shit real quick. We about to do a Rio session real quick, because I picked up a football and was throwing that shit like me and my son don't be out here throwing the football. We both looked crazy. Maybe this is just what it looked like at 9 a.m. on a Sunday, but I was throwing a football like I've never thrown a football in my life. Y'all gotta roast us, bro. Y'all gotta roast us for this. Y'all gotta roast us for this shit here, man. T said, why does Rio throw the ball like Byron Leftwich? Not the big nasty grip with the low release. Boy tried to spin it and pat the ball like that was going to make a difference. I hit the net 0 of 3 times, and my son threw the ball and hit my friend's mom's pickup truck over there. Small world. I knew the person of the car that my son hit. Talking shit too, and he went up there and was worse. At least my shits was lined up. But my son went out there and looked absolutely nasty, by the way. I hit the net all 3 times. I was moving like Caleb at practice, but no tantrum at the end. I didn't start kicking and pouting and walking away. Rio throwing a fishing line and not a football. But nah, it gets nasty when Lil Rio. Look at you could have played for Washington last year. Jokes here. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Lil Rio stepped up to play. I think he got camera shy because I ain't never seen him throw a football like this. Like my son threw a football like the way like an infant when they take their first steps, it don't look right. This shit looks crazy. It looked like he just got out the hospital and learned to walk. First of all, foul on the play. They said don't step over the line. Foot is all over the line. Throw the flag on the play. That is an illegal forward pass. Let's start there. Let's start there. I do need some Ed Oliver passing lessons because Ed Oliver, I don't know if anyone's going to SoFi. If anybody's going to SoFi, y'all let my guy JQ know because he's out there, man. He's out there. Rio has that Brucey from the longest. Hey, chill. I have an arm, bro. I could toss that bitch 55 today. But throwing at that little low-ass net, I don't know about all that. You put a person over there, dotting them up. Dotting them up. Now I feel inclined to bring a football to the next tailgate because I can't let people be thinking I'm out here looking this nasty and that my son don't know how to throw or catch a football. I'm bringing a football on October 13th. See me at the red zone lot, bro. We running 7-on-7s over that bitch. So let's start with Lil Rio. Foot's already over the line, so you already tell he about to heave this bitch like it's a javelin. He pump fakes it, brings the foot back because he realized it was he stepped over the line. Proceeds to step even farther over the line on the next throw. It wasn't as nasty as I thought. Oh, no, okay. It wasn't as nasty as I thought. Let me see it again. Y'all was roasting us in the comment. Thought about it. Do that bitch right at someone's headlights. Do that shit right at someone's headlights. I'm sorry. Miss Couch. Right at, you know what's funny? Funny story. If you watch this vlog later in the episode, when we run into my guy BJ and Sharif, and they have me do what we call the Rio lay for the Rio put together parlay of the day. His mom was the car my son just hit. It's a small world, ladies and gentlemen. It is a small world. I knew the person of the car that he hit. Tailgate him. Rio throwing like Sam Hartman. What was he looking at? I don't know. No, I don't do that to my. See, I got to bring a football with me now. I got to bring a football because this looks crazy. What is he looking at? I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what is catching his attention, but it is not the net. He's not looking at the net. Threw that bitch right to the car. I don't know what ghost receiver. Maybe it was KJ Osborne out there waiting for him. But look at the girl. She touched his chest and everything. You poor child. Try it again. Try it again with your bum ass. Look at him. The next throw, he proceeds to not even look at the line he's supposed to be standing behind. And she didn't even hold him to it because she just felt so bad because how bad the first throw went. Now the kid is 3 yards ahead of the line. He at least touched the net this time. I'm like, son, go to number 3. Go to the middle one.
Go for the middle one. Mario.
Look at him. It's all right. Keep it behind the line this time. So his confidence is a little shook. You know, we're getting a little gun shy on this one. He's holding the football. He's channeling his inner Sam Hartman for this last throw. Pump fakes, steps over the line again. We at least touched the net on the last 2. That's called growth and progress. Listen, I got to go out there and do that again. And we're bringing a football to the tailgate. And y'all need to see that this is not how we move in the Robinson household. We are better than this. We are better than this, bro. This is not how we're moving, bro. That's a loss of down. Hey, Grab. My God, we weren't able to get that recap, but it was belt to ass. But y'all gonna be straight. Y'all gonna be all right, but y'all need to protect that boy Genty at all costs because he don't got a shot in hell to do anything behind that offensive line you got. And respect, my guy. Respect. Shout out to my boy Dom. What up, my brother? Rode up to the game with Dom and his pops. Dom is the person you see with me. You know what? We're going to do a little reaction to the vlog real quick. Let's go through the vlog. The tape says otherwise. Hey, chill. The tape lies sometimes. The tape, I know y'all got tape on me now, but there is when we play pitch and catch and when we throwing routes and stuff, it don't look like this, man. Now I feel like I need to go record it. This is my brother Dom right here. That boy Dom had a concoction of liquor in that big ass water bottle because he was not prepared to watch Marcus Mariota play. My son went out and predicted 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown for Mariota, and he was very close. If Terry knew how to outrun defenders and stretch the ball into the end zone and not leave it up to the referees, my son would have been very correct on the day. Shout out to Marcus Mariota for holding it down. Red zone lot tailgate. It's lit over here, man. It's always lit over here. The command corner and the red zone lot, this is where you need to come before the game. Everybody's welcome. Good eats, drinks, and vibrations over here. Lots of toast, lots of team shots. I didn't take any of those shots, by the way, but always a good time. Rally captain breaking the fans down. My boy Seek, shout out to my guy. He made me a phenomenal cocktail. You know, I made it about halfway through that because we are not out here drinking. Met some Raider fans. Saw some Cowboy fans on the way. I asked this Cowboy fan, I said, go Bears. He said, it's just the Bears, man. It's just the Bears. And then that happened to them. Walking around the stadium, little marching band action. Me and little Rio almost got ran over by the marching band because I was talking to someone and little Rio was walking around. Here goes the card. Shout out to JQ, by the way. This is the card he gave my son. I was telling you how we almost got stampeded on some Lion King gazelle shit because my son was walking and texting and I was talking to somebody and not looking at where I was going. The security literally had to say, hey guys, clear the way, clear the way. We was about to get ran over by some tubas. My guy in the Louisville jersey, my guy BJ, his mom owned the car that my son hit earlier in the day. We put together a little play that would have been fine if it wasn't for not giving Bill and them the ball. And then just some stuff from the game. All good times. This is my son getting hype after the Terry play that we thought was a touchdown. Didn't end up being a touchdown. Oh, no, this is after the Jalen Lane jump. That boy hype, man. That boy was hype, man. It was all good times, man. It was all good times.
2-1, no Jaden, no problem. How you feel, son?
That game was amazing, bro.
It was electric. It was a real sellout, no faux fugazi sellout.
Terry should have gotten the end zone, but
Yeah, that boy was never gonna let. He's just like me. He gonna make Terry hear it that he didn't score on that play. And if you know me, I'm putting Kingdom Hearts music at the end of anything, bro. And there's a little slideshow of our day at the stadium. Beautiful time at the stadium that day, man. Shout out to everybody that was at the game. Everybody who watched it from home. Shout out to the Raiders for giving it their best. Y'all notice Tutty spoke to y'all. See Tutty, I had to stop recording because I was like, let me not get him in trouble. Tutty definitely spoke to me when I dapped him up during the vlog too. He was like, yo, what's good with you, fam? Shout out to Tutty, man. Great day at the Northwest, at the Fed. Great day at the Fed, Northwest Stadium. I was about to say the whole name of the bank. We don't even need to do all that. But phenomenal day. I'm bringing up football because I can't let that be a representation of what me and my son do when we go out to throw football, bro. Have you ever been swallowed by a marching band? Tubas was about to Jeremy Reeves us out that joint, bro. The Baddies was out there Sunday. Did you see? Oh, I sure did. A lot of talent, a lot of prospects out there, man. What was your reaction when Matt Gay missed the field goal? Did you almost run on the field? I was probably saying a bunch of crazy stuff. I wasn't even trying to record. I was so mad, bro. I was pissed. Oh, yeah, Tutty definitely one of us. Tutty from Woodbridge, bro. Tutty a regular dude just like us. Tutty got dreads. Tutty's a regular dude. I'm going to get Tutty on the show, by the way. Shout out to E-Man. But, he definitely one of us. we can get a collab with you and Buddy from Bleeding. Jalen. He is ruthless on this team. Great content. That's my guy. That's my brother. That's my guy, man. That's my boy. Group chat gang. Shout out to Jalen. Make sure y'all sub him up as well. Jalen Morgan on YouTube. But feels like a good time to go ahead and wrap this one up for the day. I'll be on Commanders Kings live later. And if there's any breaking news, I'll pop out and talk about that. About to go to this barber shop in a little bit. Get my boy tightened up for homecoming week. Commanders Kings live tonight. Let's call it 9 o'clock, but you know how we get down, man. But shout out to Gabe. Shout out to y'all. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Talk soon. Terry, I hope you got some good news when you went to go get that 5th opinion on your quad. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Till next time, Commander Rio, out.